Hello, everyone. This is Rebecca Lyddon of the Jai Institute for Parenting and Family Unearthed. And I have an invitation for you all today in the name of prioritizing our children's mental health, their nervous system health, prioritizing the synergy of the family is at least one day a week to have a decompression day. Ideally, we're having in and out breaths throughout our week, meaning Monday is a day of excitement and exploration and adventure. And within Monday, there's in breaths and out breaths as well. An out breath would be going out on an adventure, going to a play center, going to the park. They're outputting a lot of their energy. The in breath would be taking a break in the shade. Maybe the parent is telling a story. There's no screens involved, some downtime, and then out breath, in breath, out breath, in breath throughout the day. Now, many of us don't have the privilege or are in a space of inner resourcing or consciousness or support to be able to intentionally facilitate this in our day. It could be lack of practice, lack of information, lack of modeling of how to do this. And many of us live in a chronic state of out breath and output and productivity and not allowing that equanimity and equilibrium to happen, which burns us out. Our anger and aggression coaching is all around simplifying our days, our weeks, our months, creating ins and out breaths. But in the meantime, of working toward that long-term goal of equanimity and balance in our days and weeks, especially if you're a family who has two parents or one parent who's working full time, the child's in school, it's kind of just A, B, C, D, E, F, G until it's bedtime. It's kind of just going through the motions and not in a negative or a judgmental way as if that's bad or wrong. We can supplement and ensure that we are at least providing a day of decompression for our children, that they're purging all of the stress from their week. We really are in denial, I'm thinking, as a society, as adults, of the impact of this fast-paced, chronic output, chronic doing on our children's mental well-being, nervous system well-being, emotional well-being. They don't have the time to really decompress and purge their emotional backpack, their nervous system backpack, all of the sensory inputs that they've been experiencing driving to the car, going to the grocery store, being around strangers, being out in public. It's a lot for some children, much more than we can understand. And for most of us with sensitive children or children who really take in a lot of energy from their environment, we were the same way as children. And it was kind of just hushed out of us and suppressed in order to keep up with the family. And so we have a lot of conditioning around our children being too sensitive and they need to know how to socialize and they need to keep up with the real world. And, we expect them to be able to get up every morning and go to school all day long, every day for 9 months. It's just a lot. And if we can have a Saturday or a Sunday that's just home day, we can help our children so much. And I get it. It can be a really intense experience. Most people avoid downtime at home because that's when kids are going to start what we perceive as just going stir crazy or having cabin fever. But what actually is happening is that they're getting out all the stuff that they've been accumulating and suppressing throughout the week in order to keep up with the output expectation. So Saturdays or Sundays in my home, we choose a day of decompression. And, my 8-year-old saying, I want to go somewhere and I'm bored. This is boring. I want to do something. And the 4-year-old is hitting and screaming and melting down all day. And we have an understanding and a consciousness that this is exactly where we need to be right now. We need to be facilitating this decompression space. So we know going into it, it might be a bit of a spicy day. So we're preparing ourselves. We're getting to bed early. We're having that mindset of absolute acceptance and being in the flow of service to our children's health. And of course, everyone's threshold as a parent is going to be different. You may be able to stay at home for a couple of hours before you're reaching your limit and you can't facilitate a safe container anymore for decompression. And that's totally fine. Your limit may be an hour. We've worked it up to our limit being an entire day or an entire weekend. And no, it's not what I want to do. No, I would like to be out gallivanting around and having adventures and experiencing and having fun. But I know that that's what I want and that's not what's needed for the health of the family. And to be an adult is to be able to balance wants with needs. And so that's an inner coaching opportunity for me as well. So I'm just curious if anyone out here, you might have an hour of decompression, a day of no screens, no activities, just downtimes, togetherness. You're facilitating maybe an hour-long tantrum during that downtime. It's not necessarily fun. It's work. It's work for our children's health. And if that's not available for you in the week, choosing a day in the weekend or a day off where at least an hour, ideally a whole day, it's just devoted like a ceremony of decompression for the child. And you're just letting them get it all out. They're grumpy, they're fussy, they're whiny, whatever it is. You're just understanding that they're purging and you're holding a space of detoxification, purification, decompression. If this seems actually impossible for you based off of what you experience on the inside, or it's just too hard, please reach out and we can work together to increase your window of tolerance and support you to become that safe harbor for your child or children who can hold a space of detoxification. It's such a gift for our children and our families. So I'm thinking of you all out there. Take care. Thanks for listening. And I'll speak with you all again very soon.